Exciting day. See this? I always wanted a OnePlus phone when I was a teen. The company's bold, rebellious attitude really struck a chord with my angsty, tech-loving brain. But alas, I was on my parents' Verizon plan, so it was never meant to be. They just weren't compatible with that network at the time. I stuck with Android and eventually went into the Apple ecosystem full-time. Now, not only do I have a network compatible with OnePlus phones, I find myself in a position to be able to review the OnePlus 11. After years of disappointing releases, OnePlus is back with something to prove. Can they reclaim their throne as a flagship killer? Let's find out. So the OnePlus 11 5G, it's a $699 phone that's being marketed as premium but not overpriced. Never settle. In the current smartphone landscape, it's not difficult to position oneself as premium, considering a lot of what we consider to be premium features, or at least passable features, they're getting a lot easier to manufacture. So the $699 price is going to get you 8 gig of RAM and 128 gigabytes of storage. You have the option to upgrade for another $100, and that's going to get you double the RAM and double the storage. Nice. One of the main features, of course, is the Hasselblad collaboration in the camera system. But don't be fooled, these are actually standard smartphone cameras. They're nothing special or unique, like specially designed by Hasselblad. Although I will say, this design, it's gorgeous. Really what you're getting with this collaboration is, well, the dope logo, the licensing, the marketing flair, but you're also getting some better software features that come with the camera. Better color processing, it's supposed to look more real, and your portraits are supposed to look more like an actual portrait camera taken on a premium $12,000 Hasselblad DSLR. Aside from that gorgeous camera bump, everything else you're seeing here is pretty typical for a smartphone design. Meaning it's got your candy bar slab of glass, you have another slab on the back, with the black model being this plastic material, a little bit of a soft touch. Not so much does the old sandstone design or the Asus Zenfone 9's very soft, felty, suede-y kind of back. This one is going to be more slippery, but you do have a nice little texture. It's got your standard lineup, stereo speakers front on the bottom, USB Type-C, there's SIM card, dual SIM tray, and also eSIM functionality, which is great. Always on display, power button, volume rocker, and you have the alert slider up here, which will give you ringing, vibrating, and silent mode. The phone unlocks using a fingerprint reader and is jam-packed with top-tier specs. New Snapdragon chip, Wi-Fi 7 chip built in, updated Bluetooth, no aux jack included. So everything looks great on paper, but at this price point, there have to be compromises. So let's take a look at what those are. The first compromise is that this OnePlus 11 is only IP64 rated, not IP68 like you might see on some of its competitors, like the iPhone 14 lineup and the Pixel 7 lineup. This rating means the phone should be okay with a little splash, a little mist, maybe this wintry mix falling down, but nothing more than that. Still, that being said, my iPhone 11 Pro was IP68 rated, and that thing completely broke after taking like 10-second underwater videos one time. It was only one time, okay? No wireless charging either, so if this is a feature you heavily depend on, this omission might be a deal breaker for you. If it's any consolation, OnePlus did include an 80-watt charger inside the box for super speedy charging. Stacked up against competitors that come in slightly more expensive, the OnePlus 11 has a few quirks. Like the back plastic just felt cheap and became increasingly annoying over time. You can feel it. You can feel the price difference. There are a couple small quirks too, like this faux wraparound design. It's actually two different pieces, not one unibody aluminum frame. As you can see here, the back of the camera bump is its own separate element. If you have OCD like me, I'm going to advise you to click away now, because the ringer switch and the power button are slightly misaligned. Once you see it, you just can't unsee it. And it just is another one of those reminders like, it's a little slip up. It's not premium. When you've got the logo of one of the world's finest camera makers on the back of your smartphone, you have to expect amazing results. So today, I'm out on a photo safari in my home neighborhood of Bushwick. I'm gonna capture everything from vivid colors to portraits. Let's see if this Hasselblad post-processing is really everything it's cracked up to be. I was just thinking, you know how the Samsung Galaxy S23 has that AI moon capture mode, where when you zoom in super close to the moon, it'll spit out an AI-generated texture that matches the way it should actually look? Why don't they make a phone where you can zoom in really close on the sun and it does the exact same thing? I want to see some solar flares. Photo Swiss safari travels took me all the way here to Domino Park in Williamsburg, and man, I had an absolute blast. I was surprised at how great the color looked just off the first impression. So I'm super excited to head back into the studio, check these photos out, and give you my final opinion. So, a few days and one haircut later, I have a few thoughts. There are a bunch of different camera modes and a few toggles built in, like the AI mode. It'll analyze the setting, determine if it's a portrait, a landscape, a city shot, and do some adjustments in post-processing to help you get the best shot. You can easily turn that feature on and off. Kind of interesting how open OnePlus is about saying, hey, this is AI, whereas with Apple, Pixel, all those other, pretty much every other device, you're not even getting to choose whether or not they get hands-on with the AI. The selfie mode is okay. What you see in the viewfinder can be very frightening, but by the time you hit click and you look in your gallery, the photo turns out looking good. The facial touch-up features are definitely something else. Fun to play with. I was loving movie mode. I think it's absolutely phenomenal. A great way to have full, complete control over the videos you take. Overall, the layout is super simple, well made, easy to work with, but what is this Hasselblad collaboration worth? So we know this. The cameras built into the phone are just generic smartphone mid-tier price cameras. They're not the top of the line ones. They're not absolute budget, low grade ones. But what we're looking for here when you have this luxury camera maker logo plastered on the back of your phone, you're expecting top tier luxury quality photos. And the way this is accomplished is through software. So take a look at some of the pictures I took. I absolutely love how they turned out. The Bushwick graffiti really just pops with the way this camera processes colors. Not only that, but the Hasselblad portrait mode, it's great. I'm not gonna lie, the depth of field is very persuasive, it's very believable, and altogether I'm quite satisfied with it. Now, that being said, when you look at these pictures on another screen, like the one you're watching it on now, assuming you don't already have the phone, it's not gonna be as colorful because the display on this device is like crazy vivid and contrasty. Additionally, I would advise not to zoom in too far into the picture or things are gonna get low res very fast. When it comes to choosing which lens to use as you're shooting, I can really only give a 2 thumbs up to the main wide angle lens. The 2x zoom and the 0.6 zoom are just lacking in the crispness and clarity. Even with the AI touch-ups afterwards, you're not getting the best shot possible. So after all, the Hasselblad licensed camera on the back of the OnePlus 11 is solid. It gets the job done. There are a few pictures I took that I'm very proud of. They made it to Instagram. But if you're a content creator who needs the most top-of-the-line camera in your pocket at all times, I can't say that you're getting that with this device. There's a lot to love in the OnePlus as well though. Starting with the 6.7-inch AMOLED display, it's bold, rich, and responsive. It handles HDR content really well without feeling blown out. And like I mentioned before, the pictures you take on this device, they're gonna look the best on this device. The ultra-fast charging powered by the 80-watt brick that comes included in the box is perfect for those moments when you're running out the door and need some quick juice. I charged up over 50% in just a few minutes, and that's enough for an afternoon's outing. I'm also a big fan of the ringer switch. It was a fan favorite that was removed from the past iteration and brought back for the OnePlus 11, and I can see why it was so beloved. Considering the hardware fundamentals are generally on point, it's up to the way it works with the software to push this thing to the next level. Keep in mind though, there's nothing you're getting here that you wouldn't get on another OnePlus phone or Oppo phone for that matter. So if you want a OnePlus phone, you gotta love Oxygen OS. It's essentially a carbon copy of the now parent company Oppo's Color OS, and it brings a more vibrant, simple feel to Android. The settings app, very organized and straightforward. And customizing your home screen has never been more of a breeze. I love how they handled icon customization. They somehow made every single icon look good with the aquamorph style. You can also opt for different icon shapes, sizes, colors, and app names. This way you can easily build your ideal launcher without having to download some seedy apps off the Play Store. Now, as you're navigating the device, you're going to notice these beautiful, slick animations that, while pretty, feel so slow. It reminds me of the first major iOS redesign, where everybody was complaining about animation speed. If you don't want to cut out animations entirely, I recommend turning on developer mode, cutting the speed down to 0.5, and you're going to get a much snappier experience. On the baseline 8GB RAM model, multitasking has been a bit of a mixed bag, where some apps that have been in the background, a couple apps back, for only a few minutes will give me splash screens and refresh to the beginning again. Very annoying. And I've also had a few nasty bugs here and there. Like this one bug where you can't swipe up to go back home. You can either hit back a bunch of times or just have to restart the device altogether. I was also frustrated to find that occasionally when using maps and navigation apps, it would lose its place while just locked and in my pocket. I would pull it out and I'd be back to searching for a new destination. Given that Oppo, a gigantic corporation, is now the parent company over OnePlus and they have integrated both of their operating systems together, crashes and bugs like these are unacceptable at this stage in the game. Now, speaking of the game, gaming felt pretty good on this device. Had a few drop frames here and there. Wouldn't recommend turning graphics all the way to the max spec for long periods of time or else things are going to get super toasty. But the built-in gaming mode is nice to have because you can toggle between low power, standard, or pro gamer mode. And also add in a few other optimizations like touchscreen responsiveness. I'm no hardcore gamer when it comes to mobile devices, but I know this is a feature that gamers will appreciate and respect. Now, if you've ever used Zenfone 9's Game Genie, you know that no other smartphone is touching that. Overall, the new Oxygen OS is full of hidden secrets and tricks that you'll learn over time. The deeper you delve into settings, the more personalized it will feel, as with any Android phone. On the other hand, if you just want to take the phone out of the box, maybe change the wallpaper, tweak a few things here and there, easy to do, you'll have no problem. So since I finally got quick interruption for what I call the that drives me crazy section. Light and dark mode can be scheduled to correspond with the sunrise and the sunset as well as setting a manual time, but eye comfort mode cannot. Why? The fingerprint reader shines at full brightness no matter the ambient light around you. So in the middle of the night, in the pitch dark, when you pick up your phone, you're getting a white circle blinding you. That's an oversight that I have never seen on another smartphone. Typically, you only get the light that glows beneath your thumb when it's already pressing on it. Something else that's weird is only certain camera modes can be dropped into the toolbar for whatever reason. Pretty much all of them except for two. I just don't get it. Also, movie mode can only be used with the camera bump on the left. So if you're right-handed, that's great, super comfortable, but you're not allowed to flip it around. Hope you like this bit. Let me know if you want to see it in the next review. So since I've finally gotten to use a OnePlus phone, I think I get it now. I'm reminded that this company was founded on the principles of not shelling out thousands of dollars to some soulless corporation. Well, since the Oppo acquisition. Regardless, I think OnePlus phones shatter the idea of smartphone as status symbol. It's not going to cure your depression or suddenly give life beautiful meaning like an iPhone obviously would, but it's an appropriate tool to accomplish daily tasks. You'll make a few sacrifices here and there, but it'll satisfy the power user and delight the casual consumer too. So if you like the feel of Oxygen OS, I can recommend this phone to you. For me, it's a no-go for now. If OnePlus follows up on their promises to co-create with users and deliver something that stands out from ColorOS, then sure, I would reconsider. Let us know if you wind up buying this phone, and let's talk about it on the US Mobile subreddit. I've been Anthony with US Mobile. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace!